Okay, so we're saying, we're picking up again the ois. We're starting by the number, the talis and tzitzis, by the number zenyan talis, number 17. Till now, basically, he said that mitzvahs are rooted in the chivarta darech anpin, the loiv and the elyon. This is the makif, the rotz and the elyon. And Torah is lower than that. Torah, the sidus, timing, the reasons, seichel, relatively speaking, that emerge from the mayach, but through the hefsek, not directly, it's treif, as we said. Nikva mayach treifa. There's a tremendous tzimtzum between the rotz and chachma. There was more arichas in that, we won't repeat it. Now, we're saying in atalos v'tzitzis, ki atalos and b'chinas loiv and the elyon. So the talis is the supernal white revelation that the rotz and the elyon makiv. Shem yud gimel chivarta darech anpin. V'lakachem et semer kvasim. I was saying like this, that the Mefarshim, some of the Mefarshim deal with the obvious question why the Torah sometimes spells keves and sometimes kesev, referring to sheep, lambs. So the Ramban says that kesev is older than a year and keves is younger than a year. It's not so poshet, it's a whole arichas and pilpul in the Mefarshim. It seems that here we're going to get the answer al pi Kabbalah. Not that he's out to answer that question, but in the course of what he's going to say, it will be answered. And that the question I had yesterday learning it is resolved, as you'll hear. Because he's just changed the dargis in the middle and I couldn't understand. So it's pretty obvious as we'll see inside. So again, talis is loiv and the alien shemi gimel chivarta darech anpin. So that's the what of the pure rotzen, the white lights of arech anpin. That's the place between the sidus in which the sidus emerge. V'lacheinu mitzemer kvasim. Ki yadu binyan akvasim. So here he actually spells it chaf veis shin. But as he goes to spell it out now, it's going to be kesef. The seder is going to be chaf shin and then beis. So he sent us to look at the Torah where, and I didn't see that he goes into the kudah that he goes to here. Just mentions these three dargas, namely shechaf. So what's chaf? Now this is the seder where the shin appears after the chaf. It's either after or at the end. So we have to bear that in mind. Shechaf made up b'chinas keser. So what's chaf is keser. Rosh Hashanah is keser. Vashin and the Reim is the three strokes of the shin. So that's alludes to chagas darech anpin. Keser b'chlal. Darech anpin is part of keser. So here we're going a lower darge. Keser includes also atik, so we're going lower now. And this is already arich. And what are we talking about? The three strokes of arich, tamshach, all the way down to chesed, gvur tiferes. And then beis. So that seems like it's already atzilus. Beis is chachma bina. And even though beis stands for bina, but he says it implies chachma, but chachma yivne bayis, because there's no bina without chachma, obviously, as the pasuk conveys it. With chachma, house, bayis, beis is spelled, beis yutov. Bina is a house; it's a whole edifice. The idea has been developed with various rooms and stories, etc. That's the union of bina, but that implies both. So that's the seder here, as he just said, it is kesef, right? Chachma, keser, chagas, and then chachma bina. But b'chinas keves, this is another darge. I didn't realize that it's a rearranging the letters here, and therefore, hence a different seder. So now, so the shin is at the end. So the Gimel Kavin Bizarre, which he said before that it's chagas, right? Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferes. So now, before it was chagas of arich, now it's chagas shalamata me'arich hanpin. Referring to chagas, Atzilus lower than arich itself. So bottom line, we're getting the general sense of a yerida. Yaakov separated. To see that maybe in Psukim they're conveyed more, but this idea of the separation is we're going instead of being kesev, it's now keves. There's a lower hamshacha here of chagas. That's the general idea, is that the Eibishter's attributes of chesed, gvur, tiferes are in a state of descent and separation from the way they are where in keser, in arich. That's what we think, I believe we need to know. That's the general idea. Are we clear on that? Yeah. Then he says, I cannot explain most of what's coming. Let's do it together, get the best of it, and that's all. The idea of korbanos say misalim b'mekodim v'shorisho. So Yaakov separated the sheep. So this is how they descend where? Into Elam Hazeh, into Ishtalshalus. What descends? The midas of the Eibishter, the Chagas. Our avodah is to elevate. Hashem yichud kutchabicha shchinta is a general idea of it, that through avodah we are uniting, as it were, likus, the levels of a likus that the Eibishter is mitzamtzim and invested in creation. It's the general idea of everything. Yichud. So through korbanos, so these are the sheep, of which korbanos are brought from sheep. So korbanos, which is the union of avodah, mis'alim b'mekodim v'shorsha. We elevate them. Ki hakorbanos v'pnei arya pnei shoir v'masher neufel b'shvira. So the korbanos are chesed and gevurah, arya and shoir, and they fall like old dvarim gashmim. They fell, the Nitzutzik Dusha rooted very high and fell in Shviras HaKelim. Shayidei HaKorban Mis'al B'Mekoiroi. So we elevate the Nitzutzik Dusha to their source through Avidas HaKorbanos Shem Sag Shelifnei HaShvira B'chinas HaKodim. So this is a whole arichas, and everything is relative here, because we mentioned yesterday that Shem Sag is, the Milui is Yud and Aleph, implying it's Bina, because Bina still has the Nakud of Chachma in it. But nonetheless, Bina is already a spashtus of Alikus with some kind of tzir. That's the Vav. But the Vav, the Aleph, that's the Vav of the Aleph, right? But the body of it is a Vav, but the top is a Yud, and the bottom is a Yud. B'chalz Maram is still on the Bittul. The Bittul, that Bina still has the Chachma. But at the same time, Aleph is a whole tzir, it's Amshachet. Not like Hey is Mamish, Malchus, Hey is already a binyan, it's already hardcore. That's the second Hey. But the first Hey, which is Takabina, is a subtle kind of structure. The second Hey is already Malchus, is much more hardly defined, defined hard. What's the expression? Hardwired. At any rate, again, Oishes HaKabbalah, what are we doing? Through Korbanos, we're elevating the sparks to the level of Bina Shem Sag, which is the Ashvira P'chinas HaKodim. The Shvira happens in lower dargas, starting in Das, and particularly it's in the Midas. It's in the Midas that the Shvira happens, in Chagas, etc. So this is the level of Akudim mentioned yesterday. The level of Akudim is before Toihu, where all of the Eidos are in one Keli. It's all unified in one. Okay? Overall, we got the idea of a Tzimtzum and the Yerida, and the need to elevate the sparks. So we're going from Kesef to Keves. Kesef, the way it is the Maila, and Keves is the way it is Lamata. Vaksovim Hifrid Yaakov. So no longer Kesef, but Kvosim. I wonder whether they didn't come to Psukim, if the Psukim changed it there. After here, and now refer to them as not Ksavim, but Kvosim, I wonder. Could be. Zeo, the Alter Rebbe continues. We're doing our best, friends. So this is the whole kavanah, why this whole yerida and the shvira and everything, because the Eibushter desires and did it b'tachtonim. But you have to understand, so why did he make it toyu? B'chdei she'achar kach yeh b'chinas aliyas. But in order to understand why he did this shvira, in order that there should be afterwards the aliyah, lo yehei, I assume he's referring to the Maimon Chazal, lo l'sheves, lo l'toyu bra, elo l'sheves yitzara. That's what he's alluding to here, though there's no footnote. I'm assuming that's what he means. That Maimon Chazal, we're all familiar with, right? That the world wasn't created to be chaotic, but l'sheves yitzara.
Perhaps he means maybe that he did what maybe you could have done this without perhaps you could maybe this v'chulu means lo yehei loy. Didn't he need to have a toyu, and you can do it without it.
What?
Perhaps he could have done this whole structure without having the toyu concept.
Yet we're saying though. So why just have the l'sheves yitzara without having the Torah before, the chaos before? But he says already b'chdei she'achar kach yeh b'chinas aliyas. So why does it have to? So he's addressing this. Why is it first that it happens in a way of Torah, and only that then leads to the aliyah? That's what he's saying. Why? So this is what mitzvahs is all about. Namely, that mitzvahs is gzeres hamelech belita. Mitzvahs are the king's decrees. There's no reasons there. Shekach olah b'tzoyne b'lishum tam. This is his desire, transcending reason. V'hayin atmis hakeset. So this is what we're talking about. Chachma ayin timotza. So this is the ayin atmis hakeset. V'shom sheresh hatalis, so we explained that's the of the talis, the makif, right? That's why it's made of wool, because keser. Prisa de malka, visa means a curtain, or means a garment of the king. Here it must mean the garment of the king. Because levusha makif. So that's the of what? Of mitzvahs. Mitzvahs express the pure rotzen, higher than time. Atmis hakeser. Aval hatzitzis and b'chinas. But tzitzis are these strings that emerge. This is the tzimtzum. Ki lakachim lamba beis chutin. Therefore, there are 32. Now, elsewhere it says because there are 32 paths of chachma. He doesn't bring that here. And there he says, I don't know what the cheshbon is. And he goes on to say, keneged b'chinas havaya adnai shebedaled moichin chabad. Vadas mischalek l'chesed gvura. I don't know what it means. I don't send this anywhere to explain it. So it's Havaya fusing with Adnai, which is the Dalet Meichen of Chabad, and then somehow this engenders number 32, l'chora. So all to say, Shobchinas Gili Asidus. So this is all the revelation of the Sidus. Liya is Mekoides a Chachma Bina, from which Chachma Bina Seichel then come. And so all of that, Shem B'chinas Torah, that is the inyan of Torah. So Torah is Sidus, that's Chachma and Bina, and the mitzvahs are the pure Ratzon and Elyon expressed in the garment of the talis. In Haknaf min konov. I'm sorry, in Hakonov min konov. The pasuk says, but the tzitzis, Hakonov psil tchelis, and the Gemara says, therefore it's one opinion, then from here we learn that with the exception of wool and linen, the tzitzis has to be of the same material as the beged.
So if it's not wool,
What?
If it's not wool beged, it has to.
If it's silk, If you have a silk baguette, then the tits have to be of silk.
So all these other materials, do they do that? These undershirts?
Well, you only have,
All
it's
these
according to this,
cotton-
we have a cotton, a child is a cotton, talus cotton, the baguette. According to this day, the halacha isn't like this way.
Okay.
According to this day, then the tits have to be made of cotton. But certainly the hiddur is, it should be min kanaf, we have wool and wool, although we dafka put silk on the corners. The silk on top of the wool. So what is the inyan here? Ki gam asaydes nimshachim yud gimel chivarta, because min kanaf, it's from the sides are the tzitzis should be this day that he's bringing from the same material as the actual baguette. What's that saying? That that even the sides damshachas, the tzimtzum, which he says is the taimim, and that's the mitzvahs, they are rooted in the Yud Gimel Chivarta, which is the Levin Elyon, the Makif. Okay, so what is he saying here? So this is the mile of mitzvahs. This is the mile of mitzvahs, but he just finished much short. He's just finished about Shubchinas Gila Saris Lias Mekeiras Lachachma Ubina. That's Torah. But the Cyrus, L'chayra, that's the mitzvahs, the marker of Chacham and Bina. And the Cyrus themselves, they are min konov. The Cyrus themselves are rooted and express the Levin Elyon, the Ratzon Elyon. So far, mitzvahs are higher than Torah. Because mitzvahs express the Levin Elyon, and Torah is already, even though he says here, Shehu B'chinas Gili HaSaydus Liyos Mekeiris LaChachma Bina Shehem, what's the Hem? The Saydus. Shehem B'chinas Torah. So frankly, I'm not sure. Dear friends, I apologize. We're going further, and we'll get to the Rebbe Seder at the end. V'zeh Shepam Mashmet, and even the next paragraph I understand less. That sometimes it's on the Mashmo Yisisha Mitzvah Sheis Gevayim Anaylim HaTorah. Sometimes we say mitzvahs are higher, the source is higher. Namely, as we said, Shem B'chinas Atmis HaKeser. Av Mikol Mokim L'mata Torah Yesenaylim. But down here, Torah is greater, Fisher B'chinas Gili Atam Shem Mitzvah. For us, revelation is when you understand. So down here, Torah is greater. We all can nikra mitzvahs evad in the Malka. So mitzvahs are called limbs of the king. Even though the limb is governed by the brain, the way the hand is going to act and the foot walk, so this is governed by the seichel of the brain. But what's driving the seichel is the will. That's transcendent. That's where mitzvahs are rooted. So therefore what? The mitzvahs are higher. V'kach b'chinas ha-mitzvah shtimshachol lamata b'dei b'chinas chachma. But actually, he's talking, it's back and forth. The mitzvahs are drawn down through chachma, that is now the mile of chachma. Sheb'chinas gilui time by mitzvahs. Mikol malkim shorsha yosenayla. Mitzvahs, the source is higher, but in terms of gilui, down here, Torah is higher. That's what he seems to be saying, right? The source of mitzvahs is higher, but for us down here, Torah is higher because Torah reveals. Mitzvahs are just actions. But Torah reveals the reason, so for us, Torah is higher. So the simple meaning of the pasuk is that a person is wise, it brings him life. So what's the taich over here? Even though Keser is the master of the source, that's the ayin, the source of Chachma. Shakeser b'chinas makim is transcendent. Why? He's saying, because for us, Torah reveals this truth to us, so it's machaye. In the sense it brings life to us. Veisach nicht, I don't know, it's just too cryptic. Even further, going further, This is the hemshech to Parshas Tzitzis. I don't know why just quoting this here. And Hashem Alekeichem, Havai is bechinas chochma, v'alekim bechinas bina. And the Shlosh said, Havai bechinas alekim. So Shlosh said, Lavai, the transcendent level of Havai will be revealed down lemata to us. Viשעי is gala bechinas yoyse gevaya. Like I said this at length, I don't know if he means this or not, that in order for a higher darga, which by itself is transcendent, to be nimshach lamata, it needs yet a higher source, that's the etzem, to enable this lofty level to be revealed lamata. Tov almid chsufa. This is born in Kabbalah, 400 worlds of longing. This is hinted to in the Daled Meis, the Abba Meis Shekel, Kesef, over the Seicha that Avram paid for Chevret for the Marsa Machpelah, the 400 silver coins. So this is the Daled Meis Ish, this is the 400 that translated in Shvira to the 400 men that Esav came with, but it's all rooted in the 400 worlds of longing. That's what's going to be revealed. Yaakov said when he made all these psukim, when he made the matzeva. So this is the fusion of Havai Elikim. The pasuk says, it's talking about a lot the Parshas Tzitzis, so that you should remember and do them. So it's missing a vav. Oisam says in Zohar, Atem Ksiv. So I don't know if he means this, but the Zohar there says, we've brought in Chassidus, the Eibush says, you do mitzvah like you made me. L'chore, that Yidden Apel, the fusion of Elikim, so we are affecting the Eibush. By nature, he created Havai, transcended Elikim, invested in creation. And now, through your Avodah, which I said before, the Avodah of Karbonis and everything you're talking about, he did a B'tachtoinim. So we make him, as it were. We make Galil Likus Lamata. And that's he's talking about the Parshas Tzitzis, because he's going through it here. Asher Yitzesi Eschem Yaretz Mitzrayim. So this is all because it took you out of Mitzrayim. So that's what's Mitzrayim is Bina. Shenikra Meitzar Yom. The word Mitzrayim is Meitzar Yom. Bina, of course, is Hagbolah. I took you out of Hagbolah, which means that Bina is no longer going to be just Bina per se, but in Bina is going to be Havaya, the Blikvul. The Blik will be revealed in Gvul. This pasuk Mimod, that's a pasuk in Yeshaya, who measured the world, referring to the Eibishter, that's a reference to Bina, and in Hagbolah, in the Tachten, will be revealed Alikus Havaya Hu Alikim, or as he brings here, Havaya Lil Alikim, or as he brings here, Ani Havaya Lekeichem, and that's all done through Avodah. Okay, so whatever we got. The Ois Gimel is already the Rebbe's conclusion of the Maimer, and it's poshet in terms of understanding it at least, but an Avodah, translate what's an Avodah, even though the end Chassid Asiyah of this Maimer as well. Okay.